afternoon, everyone. Now, it's no denying that at times some of our foodstuff is difficult to obtain. But the government, with our weekly ration, are ensuring that those foodstuffs that are very important for cooking and feeding our family in a nourishing way are available, albeit in limited supplies. And they guarantee that our fats, our cheese should be available. However, at times there is difficulty with our fresh meat ration, and that they cannot fulfil the 1 shilling and twopence worth of fresh meat that we all are allowed each week. Now, when this situation arises, the government doesn't let us go short. It ensures that we can take 1/7 of our fresh meat ration through purchasing corned beef. And corned beef can help make nourishing and appetising family meals, one of which I'm going to show you today. We often use corned beef in a hash, but that can get a little tiresome at times. So this is interesting, different, and I'm sure the family will love it. Not only that, but it only uses 1/4 of the tin of corned beef to feed a family of 3 or 4 quite well for a supper dish or a lunchtime meal. Now, you could use any of the tinned meats available on our points coupons at present. You could have a tin of Spam, or it could be more, or it could be Pren. Even that wonderful American sausage meat, which we've never had before, but our friends in America are sending us over to help with our food situation. Now, the American sausage meat, I'm sure if you've tried it, the meat comes with a thick layer of white fat all around the outside. Don't use that within the recipe. Cut it off and use that for frying. It makes a wonderful fat when your lard is a little short. You can fry your chips in it or use it for shallow frying of foodstuffs like this recipe I'm showing you today. But I'm using corned beef today. Now, I've taken 1/4 of a tin of corned beef and just mashed it with a fork, and I'm now going to add some other ingredients to it. First of all, oatmeal. Use fine if you can rather than pinhead oatmeal. This is a wonderful substance. It's home produced. It's easily available and it isn't rationed. So ladies, try to use this as much as possible for thickening sauces or soups, or for using, instead of breadcrumbs, to coat, or in the recipe to fill the more rare and difficult to obtain items like the meat and the cheese. It bulks it out. And being not rationed, it won't make a dent on your points coupons, and also it's very good for the family, oatmeal. It's got calcium in and it will really help their vitamin and nourishing foodstuffs. Now, I'm also going to add 2 good tablespoons, that was 2 tablespoons of fine oatmeal, by the way, 2 good tablespoons of that best friend you have in the kitchen, and of course that's good old potato Pete. You've got him in your Dig for Victory gardens, no doubt. Well, make the most of him rather than just serving him as a vegetable, because potato Pete, whether it's in cold boiled mashed potato form, can take the place of fat in your pastry. When he's just grated raw, he can take the place of some of your suet in your steamed or boiled suet puddings, and he can also make all your precious ration food go further. It ekes out your meat, your egg and your cheese. So that is 1/4 of a tin of corned beef, 2 tablespoons of fine oatmeal, 2 tablespoons of mashed potato without butter or milk, ladies. Just make sure it's plain boiled potato. And we're now going to season. I'm going to add some salt, some pepper, and if you have some tomato catsup or any tomato sauce that you may have bottled yourself, or if you're lucky to get some of the Heinz from your local shop. Now I'm going to pop in a dessert spoon of tomato catsup. Now, of course, tomato catsup and tomato sauce is a wonderful flavouring for those months, and the many months of the year when tomatoes are unavailable. So give that a mix up. I'm also going to add some parsley. About a dessert spoon of finely chopped parsley. Add that in as well, and that will really boost the vitamin C content of this delicious meal. So pop that in. And then finally, to bind all the ingredients together, I'm going to use some dried egg. Of course, dried egg is so useful for helping our very precious egg ration go a long way further. I'm going to use only probably for this mixture about half a dried egg. So rather than mix up a complete dried egg, I'm going to do half the quantity. Now half the quantity, of course, is just half a tablespoon of dried egg powder. Now do remember, ladies, if you leave your eggs in a packet, they can become damp. Make sure once the packet is open, you've always transferring it into an airtight tin. So I'm going to pop in about half a tablespoon of dried egg, and then I'm going to add 1 tablespoon, not the 2 for a usual whole egg, of water. Now many ladies ask me, how on earth do I reconstitute my dried egg without the lumps and ensure that it is very smooth? Well, there are 2 very easy tips here, ladies. Firstly, never use straight from the tap water. Cold water will not mix with fat, and eggs do contain fat. The second tip, rather than use the bowl of the spoon, use the handle. That's the best utensil that you have in your kitchen to just smooth the dried egg against the side of a bowl and ensuring all the lumps are dissolved. Now if by chance you do have some very stubborn lumps, you can always add a pinch of bicarbonate of soda, which should remove them. So my egg is now reconstituted, and I'm going to pop that in and mix that all up with the corned beef, the oatmeal, the mashed potato, and the flavourings of tomato catsup, salt and pepper, and some parsley. Now of course, with this mixture, which is now ready to cook, we could just make it into a fish cake or a risole shape, but ladies, the really important thing in your kitchen is to make sure not only the food that you serve your family is nourishing and tastes good, but it needs to look good as well. An appetising meal always will taste better than one that's had little effort into making it look good. So instead of a risole or a fish cake, if we're going to give them meat, let's make it look like meat. Now I've put some oatmeal on the surface, and very easily I can shape the mixture into a cutlet or chop shape. Now, we're giving them a meaty meal, so we're making it look a meaty meal. And there's my first one. I'm going to do all the mixture like this, and then I'm going to fry these sausage cutlets or corned beef cutlets, whatever the tin meat you're using in them, for about 5 minutes in some shallow fat until they're browned on both sides. So I'm just going to finish off doing them, and I'll show you them when they're frying. So there we go, ladies, some delicious corned beef cutlets, or if you make them out of Spam, sausage cutlets. Now serve these either with seasonal vegetables, or you can serve it with a delicious salad. And if you want a really meaty filling for your sandwiches, you can always make these in advance, allow them to cool, and when they're cold, cut them through the middle and pop them between the slices of bread, and they'll be the next best thing to a delicious meaty sandwich. Do look out in your magazines, ladies, for the ministry's food facts, and when visiting the cinema, watch out for the food flashes, where the Ministry of Food will give you lots more hints and tips of how to do without, yet still feed your family a really appetising and delicious meal.